Welcome to AuctionProTemplates.com. My name's Ali Baba, and in this tutorial we're going to be going over find and replace. We're going to be finding bits of keyword code that we've added to the code, and we're going to be replacing it with your information. Things like eBay store name, or things like URLs that they'll be able to find the images folder, things like that. Now, to help us with this little tool, we're going to need something like Notepad++. Now, as I said in a previous tutorial, you can use any Notepad, you can use Dreamweaver, you can use any editor that you may have available. I'm just using Notepad++ just because it's a freebie and everyone can follow along with this tutorial. It's basically the Notepad or the editor that you're using. It's going to need some form of find and replace. Preferably a find and replace of a folder instead of just individual files. But if you've only got one that will find and replace individual files, that's fine. You'll just have to do multiple tasks. So as this is the first tutorial with Notepad++, let's quickly just show you how to create a new project, just so we can have our files down the left hand side here. If you're not using this, you can just forward until we actually get started with the actual find and replace part of it. I'm just going to quickly create a new project. I'm going to call this Taurus, and then I'm going to right click again like I did on Workspace. I just right click. I'm going to right click on Taurus, and I'm going to add files from directory, and I'm going to choose OK, and here are all the files for the Taurus theme. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is I just want to open up one of the HTMLs. Doesn't really matter which one. I just want to click on any one to get us started. Now in here you'll notice we have these different types of tags. We have like eBay dot or name hyphen of hyphen your hyphen store. These are in capitals. These are keywords, and these are throughout the whole of this folder, this Taurus theme. So what we want to do basically is we want to find these, and we just simply want to replace them out with your information, and we want to do that across the whole Taurus folder. This way that you can do it in one time and then just upload it to your server and everything will be good to go. So the first one we're going to do is, and these tags here, find and replace tags, this will be on the website or the YouTube video which is connected to this video. So if you go to the website, you'll be able to see these tags and you'll be able to copy and paste and follow along. The first one we're going to do is, at the moment we have one, http www.namesite.com/eBay. We just want to basically copy that and come over to the header section, and we basically now we just want to do a find and replace. So if you're using Notepad++, just simply do a Control or an R, Control and F, and what this will do is this will bring up the find and replace box. We basically want to find and replace in find in files. So it's asking us here, find what? Well, basically we want to find that link and we want to replace it with our URL. Now this URL is where you're going to be uploading these folders to. At the moment on our server, AuctionProTemplates.com, we have a folder on that server called ftp-tut, and inside of that folder we're going to upload all these files. If I come over to the directory here, you'll notice on the right hand side here, this is the server. This is where I'm going to be uploading all the files once I've done this find and replace, and this part of it is called the ftp-tut. Okay, with these, make sure you have forward slashes at the end. Don't forget those, or it'll get a little bit messy inside the code. Then the last thing I need to make sure is that I'm getting it from a directory. So I need to make sure I'm in the right directory here, which I've got a feeling I'm not. I'm just going to quickly go there. Okay, so we're ready to go. So basically we have what we want to find, and we want to replace it with our URL to where our files and folders are going to be located on our server. Once you're happy with that, just simply replace in files, and it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? We're going to hit OK, and it basically searches the whole of this Taurus theme and it replaces it with the new URL. You'll be able to see that here, AuctionProTemplates.com/ftp-tut/ and then the rest of the code, and that will be the same throughout the whole of this actual page, and hopefully any other page that we go to as well. You'll notice that it's changed it there as well. The next one we want to do is we want to change the eBay dot, okay, and we want to come back to our header section and do a Control F, and we basically want to find the eBay dot, and we want to replace it with our ebay.com.au or ebay.co.uk or ebay.com, depending on which version you're actually using. In our version, we'll just put ebay.com, okay? So we want to find the tag called ebay. And we want to replace it with ebay.com. I'm just going to do replace in all files. It's going to ask me, yep. And now again in the code, you'll notice here it has stores.ebay.com. Next, so far so good. The next one we want to do is name of your store. So I'm just going to copy that one. Again, I'm going to come back to this find and replace. This time I'm going to find name of your store. Make sure it's identical to this. Make sure you copy it. Make sure it's not lowercase, otherwise it won't work. It's case sensitive. And this time I want to replace it with the name of my eBay store. So for this, I have a fictitious store. So I'm just going to call it AuctionPro. I just call it AuctionProTemplates. Okay, so that's going to be the name of my store. And again, I want to replace in files, and I want to choose OK. And if you also, you'll notice here now we got storesebay.com / AuctionProTemplates. Keep moving along here. The next one we want to find is the user ID. Now the user ID is for things like your feedback link. It's for your contact us. Things like that. This is what this user ID is for. So in here you would put, normally you would just put your username. Your username is generally your user ID. Just for this, as we're working in a fake environment here, I'm just going to put AuctionProTemplates. But whatever your username is, generally that's your user ID, and you need that for things like I said, contact us, feedback, and other scripts, stuff like that. So you just simply replace it in files, okay, and that's replaced that one. Next one we need to do are the social media. Now, at present on this theme, we have 3 social find and replaces set up. All you need to do, for example, is find the first one, which is Facebook. Again, case sensitive, capitals. And you don't necessarily have to replace it with your Facebook. You could actually replace it with any social media. Just think of these three tags as just a way of adding whatever social media you're using. You could be using YouTube, you could be using other types of things. But for these examples, we've made Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. But like I said, you can find Facebook and you can replace it with your YouTube account if you want. Obviously, you would just type in the URL to where that is. I'm just going to do facebook.com /AuctionProTemplates. And I'm going to try to spell it correctly. Okay. So that's just what your face would be, or whatever you wanted to put in there. You just need the URL for it. Replace in files. Okay, that's that done. And then you would do the exact same thing for Twitter and Google+. Again, using whatever you want to add. You would just find Twitter and replace it with whatever you want. So now that's all done. That's basically, we've now linked it to your server, we've linked it to your store, so now your store URL is in there. We changed it to your ebay.com or your ebay.co.uk, depending on what platform this is on, and we are good to go. The final part to this will be adding this to your FTP. Quickly show you how you can do that, and do that using the FTP client called FileZilla. I'm just going to find the actual folder here, Taurus final, and I'm basically just going to, on the left hand side here, grab all the files and folders, and I'm just going to drag them onto the right hand side. The left hand side is my computer, and on the right hand side it is our server. So I'm just simply going to left click, drag them all on there. If you want to know how to use FTP, we got a great tutorial out there done by Ron explaining how to use the FTP, so feel free to check that out. We'll put a link to that tutorial inside of this video page, okay? But for now, I'm just basically taking the files from my computer and I'm uploading them to the server. So that is it for this tutorial. You now have all the files and folders linking to your server. Everything is ready to go. In the next tutorial, we're going to start uploading some stuff to eBay, getting everything up, and then we'll be able to see what edits we need to make and make this theme look like a sexy eBay store. Thanks very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.